I received a call back from John Martin, representative in Congress for my specific district. I was in the bath and missed his call, so I'm going to try and call him back now, see if I can get a hold of him.
Hello.
Hello, is this John Martin?
It is.
It is. Hi, it's Mark Jerkins. How you doing this morning?
Good. Tried to reach you last night. I didn't get you, but I figured I'd try this morning.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's very nice of you. I know that you're home this week or and whatever, and I hate to bother you, but
No problem.
I've got a real urgent matter that I need some help with from my congressman. Are you there for me?
Yeah, that's why I can help you. Sure.
Okay. I'm a recipient of Maine State Housing Authority assistance. I'm also a Maine State medical marijuana patient. I've received two documents from the Maine State Housing Authority giving me 10 days to surrender my state's rights or face the cold of winter with no home. On neither one of these documents is there any mention of what my rights are or how to go about the filing of an appeal to this action. Tomorrow, the Maine State Housing Authority is holding a board meeting. How do you intend to protect my congressional or my constitutional rights, sir?
I'm not sure I understand what your issue is. Is it because you are using marijuana that I'm not sure I know what's happened to you. Did you get a letter from them telling them that you had to vacate the apartment?
Okay, this is it. Do you have a few minutes to listen? I'll read the letter that I read to you, that I received originally, and this will give you an idea of what's going on here. Okay? It's not that long of a letter, so... Alright, during a recent inspection of your housing choice voucher rental unit, it was evident that marijuana was present in the unit. Maine law allows the possession, use, and cultivation of marijuana for medical use. Federal law classifies marijuana as an illegal controlled substance. However, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development has left the decision to allow or prohibit the use of medical marijuana by participants in the Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Program to the public housing authorities. Recently, the Maine State Housing Authority Board of Commissioners clarified our policy of regarding rental assistance to participants who possess or cultivate medical marijuana in apartments where rent and utilities are federally subsidized under the Housing Choice Voucher Program. The board's action does not affect a person's status as a medical marijuana user. However, it does mean that possession, use, or cultivation of marijuana in your rental unit will result in the loss of HCV rental assistance. I am notifying you of the board's decision so that you can take the necessary steps to retain your rental assistance. A HCV program supervisor, Allison Gallagher, will be contacting you in the next few days to discuss the board's decision and your continued participation in the Housing Choice Voucher Program. If you have any questions, please ask them during this upcoming phone call, and you can always call your program officer. Sincerely, Dennis V. Lord, CC, Allison Gallagher. I called Allison Gallagher and spoke with her about this, and asked her some very specific questions, to which she wasn't able to give me any real answers to, but she did manage to tell me in that conversation that I would be at some point receiving information regarding my rights and how to go about the appeal of this action. I have yet to have received that information, and I've been given 10 days from Friday, the day I signed for this letter that came to me by registered mail, okay, to surrender my state's rights.
But, yeah, not really, though. Not the way that letter is drafted. Hang on just a minute. The other phone just went, Mark.
Yes.
No, that's over. Are you receiving the marijuana through a provider, or are you growing your own?
I grow my own.
That will be a problem. Under federal law, that's not state law. And the reason I know is I happen to be on the advisory board of Save Alternative here at Frenchville.
Yes.
That grows the marijuana.
Yes, I know this. That's why I'm hoping that you'll be there for me here.
Yeah. Okay. So it means you can't grow it there. That's very, very clear.
Yes, but
that has nothing to do with the state. That's federal.
Yes, but here in the first paragraph of this letter, it says that the Department of Urban Development has left the decision to allow or prohibit.
Right, but the state board, which we don't control, that's controlled by the governor, basically has made. I saw the ruling last week, and they basically have indicated they're going to follow the federal law.
Okay, so even still, this letter says that, and I mean the next one I received, now listen to this, this is the one that requires my signature within 10 days, okay?
Right, that was basically to prove that you had received the letter.
Right, but this one says here, by signing this, okay, I, Mark Jerkins, understand that by signing this warning letter, I certify that I will not possess, use, or cultivate my medical marijuana in any federally subsidized unit administered by the Maine State Housing Authority. So we're not talking about just cultivation here, we're talking about my medicine and my doctor, period.
Right, and so what it would mean if you choose to stay there, that you'll end up having, when you need it, you'll have to go take a ride or go outside the door. You can't do it inside the building.
This decision has been made unilaterally with totalitarian rule.
Right, and they had the vote, they had the ability to do it. I mean, this board consists of 5 people.
Unelected officials.
Unelected, appointed by the governor. And he just appointed a brand new board with a new director because he got rid of, because they were all Democrats, so he wanted all Republicans.
Thank you for stating that. I am recording this.
But that's fine, there's no problem. And basically he's got what he wants.
Okay, well, I sent a message to the governor just this morning asking exactly when it was that the Maine State Housing Authority was granted totalitarian rule over the citizens of the state of Maine and can just demand that we surrender our state's rights or else.
Well, basically what they've done is follow the federal rules, and
But they don't have to, and as a state.
I understand they don't have to.
Okay,
but they have decided that they are going to.
But as a state agency,
right,
having no pressure from the federal government in this issue, isn't their first obligation to the state?
Well, frankly, they can do what they want to because they've got the power to do it. And so obviously by the fact that...
So you're telling me that I can't even file an appeal to this and make this go through the test of a federal court?
Yeah. But there won't be any... there's no appeal to federal court. I mean, they
well, how about state court? There's got to be an appeal to this. They can't mandate this action without
the only appeal that you've got the only appeal that you will have is when you get an eviction order. Then you can appeal that, and you then would be able to use whatever you want as a defense. But as far as the board, whether I agree with them is beside the point.
So I am correct in understanding that, and this is not a bad thing. I understand that they actually have to take some action against me before I can appeal it. So far, this is all just threats, right?
Well, assuming that you've already acknowledged that you are growing and that you're using it inside of the apartment.
Well, they came here for an inspection and they found it.
Okay, then they would have the ability to, at that point, evict you. But you have not gotten an eviction notice yet, have you?
No, they've given me 10 days to relent my state's rights, or they will act.
Right. So which means that within 10 days, if you don't remove the marijuana plants from your apartment, then they will be able to evict you. Is what that's saying.
So once I receive the eviction notice, and if I file my appeal right away, that puts everything on hold until it's settled, correct?
Well, keep in mind, Mark, I'm not an attorney, but my answer to that would be yes. But I'm not an attorney.
Well, I'm not either, but I was taught in school that there is a process.
That's right, but right now you have not gotten an eviction notice, correct?
Correct. So right now you could just say that I have a pile of threatening letters here and nothing more than that.
Basically what they've done, apparently, is that they found the marijuana inside your building. But which arrest are you in?
You know where the old convent is in Wallagrass?
Yes.
I'm on the 3rd floor there.
Oh, I see. Okay, you're in, yeah. Okay, you're in those, well, and that is HUD. Who administers that building?
Is John Arana?
He owns it, but who's running it for him? Is it?
Oh, I have no clue.
You don't know. Yeah, but who visits you when to pick up rent and stuff like that?
I mail my rent to John Arana.
I see Dr. Arana.
Yeah, actually to his wife, but either way, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I got you. Okay, well that's really the issue, and so the way I would read that is that they're going to give you 10 days to remove the marijuana plants from that particular location, and if you don't, then they would proceed to evict you, and get a notice of eviction, and then of course they have to go to court to evict you. They can't just give you an eviction notice if you choose to fight it.
Oh, well, I'm gonna fight it.
Yeah.
My state can't tell me I have the right to do something on one hand and then turn around and tell me I don't have the right to do it in my home.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of people were surprised by the decision that the State Housing Board, Maine State Housing, did. As you know, the governor got rid of the director and then replaced the board members, and now you've got a board that is somewhat a lot different than the board that used to be there a year ago.
And here's my take on it. Okay, these unelected officials cannot find a way to change or eradicate the law, so they're just going to disenfranchise everybody who needs it.
Yeah, but so basically what they've done, I mean, I don't know why obviously I'm not there, and I'm not, you know what I'm saying, I'm not part of that process, but they've decided that they had a choice to go either way, to follow state law or federal law, and they chose to follow the federal law.
And their first obligation as a state agency is to the laws of the state of Maine, seeing that there is no pressure from the federal government.
That's correct. There is no pressure from the federal government. It seemed to me that they would have, understood that the state citizens, that they would have supported the legislature's decision.
Well, it's only common sense. They wouldn't even exist if it weren't for the citizens of the state of Maine. So their first service is to us.
You would think so, Mark, but that's that's a different ballgame for this governor.
You see, yeah, I would not. I still wouldn't understand or be able to comprehend it if the federal government was inserting its power here. but it's even more confusing seeing as they aren't.
Yeah, yeah, right. But that's the decision they have made, and the only ones that can overturn that is the same board that implemented it.
Well, okay. They say, well, since I am not going to comply with this letter, I am going to fight it. I'm not even going to sign and return this. They gave me 10 days to sign and return it, or they take action. And if I sign and return it, I swear off my medicine, which I'm not going to do.
Right.
So that's it. I'm just not going. I'm going to hold on to this letter and use it as evidence in court.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I say, I mean, at this point, if you're not acknowledging it. Who's the person that came to inspect the apartment?
I don't know the name.
Okay.
It was a big. He was a big guy. Anyway, dark-headed,
Yeah.
large guy. Not somebody you wouldn't want to go against.
Right.
You know.
Right. Okay. Well, that's a story, Mark. You know.
Yeah.
But you know that's really that. I suppose what could happen. I mean, the only way to change that is that the legislature could change the law to prevent them from could make the decision. So in January, the legislature could pass a law saying that the state will follow the federal rule rather than the rule that the agency has taken. That may be the best way to do that.
But I don't want the state to follow the federal rule. I want
No, yeah, we do. You do because they don't. I'm sorry. I take that. I reverse that. No,
okay. Yes.
State rule.
Yes, the state rule.
Yeah, they could
Yes.
reverse the legislature could reverse the Maine State Housing Authority and say you will not follow the federal rule. It's the state rule.
Okay. Well, we can hope for that. They are our elected officials.
Well,
and
I think the Maine legislature probably would because obviously the legislature in Maine is reacting to what the voters had voted for 5 years ago.
exactly. I mean, the law is in full effect and can't be eradicated just like that. So.
Right. So I would think that the odds are that the legislature, and that may be your way out. I mean, maybe one of the things you might do is, after the election, contact legislators and see if they're willing to support legislation that will reverse the Maine State Housing Authority.
Okay. All right. Well, I was told by Allison Gallagher, by the way, that by filing an appeal to this, just as you said, it would put everything on hold for me, and they couldn't stop my assistance until it was settled.
That's correct.
So I told her that's what I intend to do, and I'm just going to continue doing what I'm doing until a court of law tells me that I'm too poor to do it.
Right. Yeah, and then in the meantime, the legislature, the legislature hopefully for you would change the law.
I'm sure they will. It's my bet that they're going to stick to the Constitution of the state of Maine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we put them there for. I went into the Army and served a 6-year commitment with service in Korea, so I am a veteran, and I'm 100% disabled, not through military, but through civilian work. However, I have served this country, and the reason I did that and chose to do that and put my life at risk if we were to go to war is to defend the Constitution of the United States of America.
That's right.
And now I need it. I need its help. So.
Well, that's the story, Mark. Okay.
All right, man. I wish that you could be at this board meeting tomorrow. I know that there will be an attorney from the ACLU there, and there will be Deb Sanderson will be there. Representative Deb Sanderson is going to be there.
I know her very well.
Yeah, and she called me just the other day to console me, even though she isn't in my district, and told me that they are going to be there. They got themselves put on the docket, and they're going loaded for bear, which is good. Good to hear. And so I was just hoping that maybe you could do something similar. You know?
I'll talk to her about it, though.
Oh.
But I don't think if they're going to make the presentation, they're not going to listen to everyone that shows up. The board will basically listen to. I know that they'll listen to a couple of legislators and an ACLU. But I think Mrs. Anderson knows that stuff very well.
Yeah. When she was talking to me, she seemed very confident that they've got a case here. So.
Yeah, and furthermore, I think Mark, overall, I think the legislature would follow state law rather than federal rules into that one.
Just meanwhile, we got to put it through the test.
Yeah.
This is what we designed the system for. So.
Right.
Okay, my man. Thank you for the call back.
Not a problem. Don't forget to vote. No.
Oh yes, and you got mine, so you're cool there.
Okay, Mark. Take care.
Hey, have a nice one, John.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.